gym time. Quite like in this little room here. There's not a great deal to do. We've got multi-gym, ancient machine over there. I can use the treadmill. The weights rack only goes up to 30 pounds or 14 kilograms. So not great, but more reps, more sets. If it's a lighter weight, Saturday days is small, but judging by the other people I've seen knocking about the hotel without trying to sound too harsh, don't think it's going to get too busy in here. It hasn't been. Yeah, nice little grass area over here, which is, I assume, is for sit-ups and planks and stuff. So I've been doing, well, that's what I've been using it for anyway. Yeah, it's alright, it's enough. And then you've got the pool just outside to take a dip in, refresh, and we're done. So, good days. Morning Grizzlies, we're off on a scooter bike adventure today. I've never actually ridden one of these little rental scooter things in a foreign country. To be honest with you, I don't think I've done it in the UK, apart from when I was a teenager, because apart from like mods and teenagers, who does ride a scooter in the UK? I have ridden a lot of quads in foreign countries. The last time I did that, it really didn't end well. That was in Oman in 2011. Say nervous, but curious, maybe a little bit apprehensive about the roads and things like that. And the sunshine. It's sunny today. It hasn't been sunny since I've been here. So it's probably the worst day to be out all day on a bike. And I'm going to, I think it's called Nong Noon, something like that. No, Nong Nooch. Which is making me laugh because it sounds like Gooch. Botanical Park to meet the wedding gang. So we're going to get a scooter and we're going to head up there and see what's going on. Hello. I get a bike?
Yeah. This one?
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's good?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. How many days?
Just today.
1 day?
Yeah.
1 day first, 250.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's good?
Yeah, it has deposit 1,000.
Okay.
พี่ชาวเอาใบบุ๊กไลฟ์ป่ะใบบุ๊กอ่ะใบบุ๊กกับต่างๆใบยูเซสอ่ะใบยูเซ
Sorry? Just the Siam there.
เอาเสียงพี่
Yeah.
โอเคปากกาดำเลยเสียงวิวรูมนัมเบอร์รูมนัมเบอร์
410. Try to give me a girl's helmet. Go on then, that sounds like... What, the blue one, or is that not big enough? Yeah. Blue for boys, isn't it?
Yeah, maximum.
Looks like a skateboarder's helmet, that does. Go skateboarding. Yeah, just this one.
Okay. Take out photo. Okay, thank you, save time. If you
Thank you,
need
mate.
open this, you put it.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. And
And this,
this, the lights.
yeah, this open. This,
Okay.
this helmet inside one. And this
Ah, right, the fuel, yeah.
This open. Yeah,
Okay.
you pick
Yeah.
safety and start this.
Okay, that's the start, yeah?
Yeah.
Got it?
You lock every time you don't die because our battery work. Lock.
Okay.
If battery low, you
Yeah.
cannot start. Lock. Save
Okay.
that.
Thank you, mate. I already know what I'm doing, yeah? Shouldn't be too hard to work out. Yeah. Thanks, mate.
You come back, you give me refund the deposit.
Okay, cheers. Well, Grizzlies, I'm back from my scooter adventure, and it'll be absolutely no surprise to anyone that I was involved in a crash all of 10 minutes into the ride. Now, I just can't go off on one and start blaming the drivers around here or the driver of it's one of those taxi things with the cage on the back, because you got to be honest about these things. I'm inexperienced, obviously, not just on riding scooters around, but riding them around a country like Thailand with the roads and the multitude of local drivers, foreign drivers on scooters and everything else. And you just got to accept that that's the way they drive. So I can't go off and go, oh, bloody, if it was the UK, well, yeah, but it's not. I should have been more aware of that that's how it is over here, and you can't expect to drive like you would do in your own country and get away with it. And they're going to swerve, they're going to cut up, they're going to not stop or brake or anything, because they just expect everyone to be super reactive, because that's just the way it is. It's everyone for themselves, everyone's trying to get somewhere. It's manic, and when you put you into that crowd and you're not ready for that, which I wasn't. I thought it was just going to be a leisure little drive. And I got to take the hit as well on the fact that I went through a few of the back roads and then headed down to the beach road, which is a main road, of course, because I wanted a nice little view across the coast as I was going. So I got down there as I pulled out of the junction into the lane where there was a car with decent distance away from me for me to pull out. I did, but then it was one overtaking that, which then swerved back in to my side of it. As I've seen it, I've obviously tried to put on the gas a little bit. It's clipped me and then sent me spinning, sliding across the deck into a parked car. He didn't stop, he just went. Luckily, you got all the locals there with the little coconut water stands and stuff. They came running over, so that was great. Had my helmet on, so be proud of me for that. And lucky, to be honest with you. I know I make a joke of it in life, and there's a chapter in my autobiography, Never Above, Never Below, called Bulletproof, because of my experiences in Afghanistan, where then I used to make the joking statement of, I'm bulletproof, because of all the stuff I got away with, and I got away with it again. Injury-wise, we're looking at that, which is nothing. I've had worse than that, coming off of a bicycle, running. Ribs are hurting, and the top part of my chest there. There's a graze along my shoulder, back of my shoulder there, so obviously I've gone that side. Look, I think that's actually from the bike, because it's thin, that will be from the road. Now my shoulders hit the road, then that, and my elbow's hurting as well, so I clearly have gone on that side, because it's the elbow, shoulder, and obviously my chest, and down to my ribs. Can't do much damage to that. Yeah, I had my helmet on. The bike is knackered. I mean, if it had just been scratches, superficial, I could have cracked on. Got it up, tried it, but the front fork was holding the front wheel in. It's twisted. You just look at the wheel and it's just twisted off the side, so you can't even roll it to move it off. We had to drag it off the road. So that's mangled. It's snapped off the big metal kickstand back brake, which is on the left hand side, and like the bicycles, is knackered as well. It was starting and everything, and there's a few scratches down the side, of course. So that's going to be an expensive one. I don't know why I'm laughing, to be honest with you. I did have the phone strapped to my new magnetic chest thing for a part of the drive. And obviously 2 ways you can look at this. Lucky and a shame, because I took it off as I got to that junction. So there's obviously something in my mind going, right, it's getting a bit more serious now, take care. So there was something there, just not as much to prepare me for it. So I've taken the phone off and stowed it away. I'd like stopped at that junction to do that before then heading off. Which of course is great, because if it had been in there, the magnet wouldn't have held it once I got clipped and started going sideways into a parked car. So phone could have got trashed. Obviously the unfortunate bit is, it'd have been some good footage because I survived without, well, I hope not, maybe it's a bit of adrenaline. Maybe in 10 minutes time, I'm gonna be like crippling pain, cracked, broken 4 ribs or a collarbone again, like in Ecuador. But the guy at the rental place, we rang him. The guys in the coconut water stand, they got the number off the front. I had it on the document anyway, but they got it straight off the scooter. Gave him a ring. He came straight down with his daughter, and he was great about it. Obviously he knows, he's like, I'm gonna have to get a mechanic down and assess it because you couldn't move it or drive it. I fair play to him. He was like, you can have our scooter that we've just come down on, and I was like, you're all right, mate. I think I'll call it a day, if I'm honest with you. I don't want to be trashing your spare scooter as well. I was like, nah. And he's like, oh, we'll give you a lift back to the hotel. Obviously a nice little day planned, but it didn't just that. It's just, obviously I've trashed the scooter now, so that's going to cost a bit of money, which again, I'm not that fussed about that. It's money in it. The main thing is, I've come away from it unscathed. Nobody else got hurt. My pride. It was destined to happen, wasn't it? As soon as I mentioned in the lead-up video to go and get one about that quad bike in Oman that I rolled and smashed up, it was just jinxed, wasn't it? It was odds on going to happen. You know what I'm going to say? If you're going to be a bear, you may as well be a grizzly. We learn from our mistakes. That's lesson learned in Pattaya. I might get one on Koh Samui when I get down there. For some reason in my mind, it's going to be quieter. It's not, is it? It's a tourist haven as well. It's going to be probably worse. Not like city streets, but there's going to be a lot of inexperienced riders down there. Right, today I'm probably going to get a taxi up to the botanical garden thing to meet the gang. Maybe what I'm going to do, just waste the day moping about. Nope, I'm going to get up, get moving. So, not the update I wanted to be doing from today, or the scooter adventure. I wanted to be doing nice the stories about the coast and little hidden beaches, things like that. Wasn't to be this time. Just up at Nong Nooch. Calm down a little bit from my scooter drama. So I've already lost the £20 deposit. And obviously the day's hire fee, which I didn't get. He did offer me another one, but I was like, nah. And he's already told me it's like 800 baht just to tow it. So it's just under 20 quid there. That'll be a pricey one, I think. The front, they already said, the mechanic said, it must have been a really heavy, strong hit, because the front fork holding the wheel, he said, it's just mangled. He's completely replacing. It's not good news. Checked up on my travel insurance with Lloyd's Bank. And it says it doesn't cover activities deemed to be extra hazardous, which you know they're gonna class that as, even though it's a bloody scooter. And to be honest with you, they got a point. They got a strong point. But you know they're gonna class it, even though it's, I mean, so many people do it and it's a normal activity, driving a scooter around. Some people, you know, they're gonna pull that one. Probably not going to waste my time ringing them. It's going to cost me a fortune. Just take the hit, put it down to experience. The lone wolf has had an absolute howler. And get on with it. Isn't that right, boys? Not looking good from the scooter guy. He's obviously playing it up as really bad. asking me to accompany him to the garage. But I'm at the Gooch place. I'm sure it'll be an inflated gringo foreigner price as well. We will see. Right, Scootergate. We've had a resolution. Been out all day today at the Gooch Botanic Gardens Elephant Place with the wedding gang. Finally met up with them. So good to see all them. Brilliant. Chris and Courtney I haven't seen probably since my San Francisco trip, which is in the book, Never Above, Never Below, autobiography. There's a couple of chapters about them in the book. Northern Michigan, Mackinac Island, San Fran. 12 years ago. It's great to see them. We got to the garden park and I couldn't really relax because I knew I had this scooter thing going on. It had been towed to the garage, so I knew the cost of that. And I'm just waiting on the assessment and seeing where it's going from there. So I had a couple of like little teasing messages from him all day. Oh, it's going to be a lot. And it was some damage, as not caused by the impact or coming off it. It was as I was rolling off sliding off it onto the floor into a parked car myself. One of the taxi things coming behind as well just went straight over the wheel, just drove straight over it. That's what's buckled and warped that wheel. The stuff before was just all the superficial damage and snapping the kickstand, probably. I didn't snap my leg or anything else. Honestly, I got no idea. Thankfully, it didn't. So it was quite a lot of damage, but I know they're going to play the game. And why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? I wouldn't personally, whether you can believe me on that one or not. A lot of countries outside of our own country, we got all our rip-off artists. Of course we have, 100%, they're everywhere. But I think the general person in our country wouldn't. But I was expecting it. I knew the cost was going to be inflated when it was thrown into me. I mean, I'm stuck an eye, because they know I'm not from here. They know, he's worked out, doesn't he, that I don't live here, I'm not going to be hanging around, I'm on holiday, okay? I'm not hanging around for much longer. He knows how I want to get the police involved and any sort of legal wranglings or stuff like that. But also I know he doesn't. He wants a quick settlement. He wants some cash. I accepted that I was going to have to pay because I am shouldering blame for it as well, of course. Shouldn't have gone out onto that road, at least without going around a little bit of the area and getting a feel for it. I knew what it was like, but I should have had more of a feel for what it was like than heading straight out onto that beach road full of traffic. So yes, got to hold my hand up and say that. So I was prepared to take my share of it, but I weren't just going to fold and give straight into him. Now I will admit, I am shit at haggling, bartering, right, stuff like that. I'm dog shit, and I will readily admit that. I met Paul from my Trump Fist things. It was great having him on the streets or whatever because he was just a natural. I always said to him, you should have been a Ferrari salesman, my boy, because he'd have been a multi-millionaire within 6 months. He was great. I'm the opposite end of the scale. I'm dog shit, and I just feel embarrassed and awkward. And the guy did seem like a genuine nice guy. He didn't. And I know I always say this to people before when we come across con men, con artists, whatever, and people go, oh, but he seemed like a really nice guy. And I'm like, well, of course he did. What con artist isn't likable and makes you comfortable? Confidence, man. That's the whole name. If he wasn't likable, if he'd comfortable, he wouldn't be a con artist, would he? He'd be something else, because he'd be crap at it. He did seem, from my dealings from getting the bike and everything, when he came to pick me up, offered me another bike and everything, he did seem like a genuine guy. But you've got to temper that fact is, he's a genuine guy in a holiday resort, which their business is money and getting as much money as they can. That is their livelihood. That's their job, right? And he didn't care about me. Probably thinks I'm a millionaire in Berkshire, England, or Prince William's cousin or something. Like I said, there was blame to put on it for me. So it wasn't just a case of, nah, he's not having anything and arguing about it. It was like, well, yeah, all right, I'll put my hand up. But you gotta take a bit of slack as well. So that was the angle I went in at. It started off with, he got the total straight in there of close to 17,000 baht, which is about £370, which, to be honest with you, I was willing and expecting to pay, maybe even a bit more, because it was damaged quite a lot. Luckily, with the wedding gang, got Tatsini, her mother, who's a local, is here. So I told them and they were like, no chance, he's trying it on, push him, push back, right, challenge it. So in his first evaluation, he sent back the garage costs, the parts, and the towing of it, and then added on, it's going to take 10 days for the parts and to fix it, so he's going to charge me 10 days lost revenue, which you can see where he's coming from on that angle, but I wasn't having that. It's like, you're in the scooter game in Pattaya, Thailand, renting them out. You don't even need a driving license, right? All they ask for is either a passport or 1,000 baht deposit, so 20 quid, right? So they didn't even check your credentials. They're giving these scooters out to anyone with no experience, no qualifications. And you do need a license, because if the police pull you over and you ain't got one for your own country, you're getting done, getting booked. So I'm like, you can't just go in at the top end and expect the person to take all the blame for this. You're not even vetting who's taking these off you. You're in the scooter game, dishing them out to everyone in one of the most mental places to drive. You got to take it on the chin that you're going to have to shoulder some responsibility when they get damaged. Trying to charge me 10 days for lost revenue. So one having that, but I realised he hadn't included in all this, obviously, the 1,000 baht deposit I'd paid him, because of course that's going to go towards any cost. He's already got that. I ain't getting that back, no matter what. But I didn't want to play that card too early. I wanted to keep that one in the back pocket for later negotiation. Sound like an expert now, don't I? But I'm not. This is in hindsight, obviously. I was bricking it through all of this. So I've said, yeah, it's fair enough, I know there's damage, but I don't think charging me for lost revenue is fair. It's the garage have come up with that total. And like I said, and you got to take some of it on the chin as well. Straight away drop that. Yeah, I'll cut that. Happy days. So that dropped it down to about just under 14,000, I think, from nearly 17, which is a good start. And then I played, well, you also got 1,000 of my money for the deposit, which you're obviously going to keep. At which point he was like, yes, I do. Okay, that comes off. So we're now down to about, I think, 13,008. So Tatsini's mom, she got involved. She said, I'm going to come with you. Tell him you got family and friends here, and they're going to come with you because they know the language. And she said, just rattle him. So it did, and it did rattle him, because he messaged back then, who do you have who speaks the language? Which is either trying to feel me out to see if I'm bluffing him, or he's like, shit, yeah, I'm going to have to play the game now, because they know the score, obviously. And then I just thought, you know what, I'm going in low. Offered him 10,000 cash. I was expecting him to say no, which he did. Well, he didn't say no. He was just like, well, you expecting me to pick up the 3,000 odd slack? That's not fair. And again, I could see where he was coming from, because there was damage. He wasn't just trying to get money out of me for nothing. Again, with some coaching from the guys, egging me on. If I'd been sat on my own, I'd have got nowhere near this. I'd have just got in with the money probably straight off. After he dropped the initial loss of revenue, I probably would have just taken it to him. And they're like, no, keep trying. So then I played the trump card, because I knew he wanted a quick resolution and I wanted a quick resolution. And in that situation, if you up it a little bit and offer cash, I will come round soon, will hand you cash, they're generally going to go for it. Tatsini's mother gave him a phone call, so he knew it was genuine, that I had someone said she was going to bring me round, and we settled on 11,000 cash, which is about £240 or 230. So knocked him down by £140. Not a bad resolution. And it's just a wait. Like I said, we could have gone to, as she said, do you want to go to the police, this, that and the other, go to the hospital, get a hospital report? Because she was saying to him, like, well, he's been injured as well, so you've got to have a bit of give and take with this. Which, fair play to the guy, he did. And with it being resolved, it's just a wait now. It's just like, it's done. It's an expensive 10 minutes out. 230 quid, 240 quid. Well, more, 250 with the 20 I gave him the deposit that he kept as well. And I lost out on a day on the scooter. I'm glad I walked away from it with barely a scratch. The ribs, Courtney and Chris, when they saw me, came running up and jumped and gave me a big hug or whatever. And I was like, chill out. They knew I'd been in a crash. They were like, oh, sorry, forgot. Ribs are hurting a little bit. Around about there, not too bad though, but the chest started to hurt more and more as the day has gone on. Very unlikely a gym session's going to be happening in the morning. I just settle for a stretching session and a bit of pool time is the safe option for tomorrow morning, I think. Oh, we're going on a boat. We're going on a boat as well, a yacht or something on the water. Well, I hope it's nothing more serious is going to wake up tomorrow morning. I'll be like out of bed, peeling myself off the mattress. In essence, I've walked away from that. It could have been a lot worse. Like I said, that car coming behind, I was out of the way. Good old commando roll as well. Once I hit the deck, get clear of the traffic, which I did, and it said luckily because that car came, and that's what caused the damage to the bike. So it's done now. We've got to cut our losses, right? Put it down to experience that I've had an absolute howler, and I can't really blame anyone else for it. I am going to take a hit on this one. The good old motto's getting me in trouble again, innit? Going to be a bear, be a grizzly. And when I got on the bus, when I met the guys, Chris, she said, like, every trip you go on since I've known you, there's an incident. I'm like, oh yeah, there's generally more than one. Breaking my collarbone in Ecuador is just one off. At least it wasn't that. And I was in the middle of nowhere on a jungle road in Ecuador. And you can imagine the medical facilities there weren't up to much. Something always happens. I said, yeah, because of that bloody motto. Because if I'm in doubt and going, oh, should I do this? I'm like, it's going to be a bear. As long as I keep walking away from it, it's all right, innit? 250 quid lighter. I mean, I'll come off like 250 quid's nothing, because it isn't. Trust me, right? I'm very frugal and not extravagant at all with my money. But what I like to do in situations like this as well, where you've lost some money or whatever, unexpected expenses, is try and compare it with something to try and validate it and make it not seem so bad. And my one for this is, well, if I'd have been here 4 years ago on this type of trip, I'd have done 250 quid in the first 3 or 4 days drinking and eating crap. So let's weigh that up in retrospect and just say to ourselves, it isn't the end of the world. Paid him, we shook hands, got the paperwork back off him, so he can't like go chasing me for anything now, and just enjoy the rest of my time now. So the wedding gang are getting showered up and changed. Some of them are in an Airbnb, some are in a hotel. I think the Airbnb lot have only arrived today, so they're pretty tired, which you can appreciate. Food is on the cards. Tyler was talking about one of the go-go bars, strip bar, I can imagine. It's the only thing that my mind could translate go-go bar, go-go girls to is strippers, a strip club. But I mean, it's a gang of all ages, so it's not like we're like a bunch of like seedy men on a stag do just creeping into some underground strip club. It's Thailand and it's part of the culture. It's like, it's almost like a family thing. It's just like you come, well, I probably wouldn't take kids in there, and they're probably not allowed. Although I don't know. Do you know what I mean? It's something where it's not seen in that light as it would be if you did that in the UK. It's seen as just interesting and enlightening. I need to go and have a shower, put some Germaline on my battle scar and crack on. See you later, Grizzlies.